And in that split second, when I breathed out a couple of times and I realized that I could not breathe in again, it suddenly dawned on me, I'm dying. I'm going to die. If I can't breathe in, I'm going to die. And what was amazing to me is that I was totally calm. It was just this amazing feeling of acceptance and peace that came over me. And I was like, well, I'm dying and I'm not even scared like I thought I would be. And it was just this total acceptance that there's nothing I can do. I'm just going to die, and that's it. And I kind of gasped my way, and my ex-wife was actually standing there in the basement, and I just gasped out to her. I said, call an ambulance, I'm dying. And she obviously didn't know what was going on. So she ran upstairs to tell my mother that something was wrong. And in the meantime, I collapsed. I like blacked out, and I collapsed down on the basement floor. It was a finished basement, so we were staying there. There was carpeting and furniture and everything. And then the amazing thing happened when, after a split second of like black nothingness, I suddenly found myself completely awake and conscious, and I was looking at a body lying on the floor in front of me. And I thought to myself, wow, isn't that strange? I thought that I had really injured myself falling down the flight of stairs here, but I must have been dreaming, because I feel totally fine and I have no pain. I must have just had a horrible dream that I injured myself and I was dying and I had all this pain, and now I'm awake, and it must have been a dream, because I feel perfectly well and I have no pain now. And then I looked at this body on the floor, and I kind of thought, like, is it me? Is it like, what is that body doing on the floor? Why is that body on the floor? And then the whole basement was filled with this kind of purplish haze light. It was like a light purple cloud but it had light in it. And then, like, before I could really collect myself and try to figure out what was going on, I felt, and I kind of saw from my left side a portal opening up, like a doorway opening up. And immediately I felt sucked towards that portal. And as I got to the portal, suddenly there were like hundreds of people's faces looking at me. And all I saw them screaming at me, and I heard them screaming at me. And all they said was, it was like three basic statements or questions. What are you doing here? It's not your time. You have to go back. And like hundreds of people were screaming the same things at me. What are you doing here? Why are you here? It's not your time. Go back, go back, go back. And I was like so shocked. I didn't know like what was going on. And I felt my soul, I like moved back away from the portal, and I suddenly felt myself being sucked back into where my body was. And I heard this loud pop, and suddenly all the pain flooded into my consciousness again. And I jumped up from the floor, and I went running up the stairs and outside, because I just wanted to get away from those people. I didn't know who they were or why they were screaming at me, but I just felt I have to get away from them. So now this was in the middle of like January in Canada, in Toronto. There was snow on the ground. It was freezing. And I basically was wearing nothing but like a t-shirt and a pair of shorts, because I was just hanging around inside the house. And yet I felt totally comfortable outside. And I waited outside in the freezing cold for about 20 minutes until the ambulance came. And they took me to the hospital and they checked me out. They said that nothing was broken, but I had a lot of bruised vertebra in my back. And they just said, go home and take it easy and relax and it'll heal. But, it was just really, really a strange experience that I never forgot.